having the communication there. But after watching that Dragonshire game, I think honestly they can go to any map.
For some reason, when I said Cursed Hall, it doesn't make any sense because that would be assuming Miracle had map pick, which they don't, which is why we're going to Temple. That's L5's map pick. And this is literally a map pick that has only really been used after stomp games, and we just had a perfect game. This is the map you take it after you have momentum. It's so difficult when you fall behind on this map to catch up, see the early bosses, total structural control. L5 just wants to make this a quick evening. And Miracle will have first ban. Remember, in game 1, L5 banned away the Ariel. With no dive on either side, we did not see Garrosh at all. He was not involved in that draft.
So after that game 1, how should you approach this draft? Bentas? I think that's a change coming out for Miracle.
It's a possibility that's what we see.
Having kind of not a throw away ban, actually. Just leaving one open, and if L5 bans Genji, then you just take something else. But if it's open, you can take Genji yourselves.
Well, because L5 has second ban, I like this. They're going to ban the Genji. L5 will probably ban the Ariel. And then you have Miracle to have the opportunity to pick Tastar themselves if they want it. You're not really afraid, if you don't want the Lunara pick, of L5 grabbing Lunara Tastar, for example. Will be banned, actually, so smart move by L5, getting one step ahead of what I was thinking there, if Miracle is going to grab the Tastar. So what's first pick material on this map? If you think about the strengths of MVP Miracle, you would want to lean towards a global hero, right? A Dahaka, maybe a Falstad, lean towards those strengths. But they just want to take what they consider to be top tier. I think L5 has already won this exchange. You can tell by the look on Swoy's face and the insta-lock that they expected this, they baited it, and now they have Vala. It's like, well, what do you want to play with the Ariel? Are you going to play the Lunara? Because nobody plays Lunara, especially not Miracle. And in Korea, Black doesn't touch it. There's not a lot of practice for this team for it. I feel like this was a trap, and Miracle fell right into it.
Let's see. Crazy Moving played Lunara 3 times. That's it. No more. So they can do the same, but with Ariel, it's going to be a lot less, especially with the nerfs. And Vala, I think L5 will actually do the same with the Q Vala coming in, possibly even with Strafe this time if there's not much of a dive potential threat from the other side. L5 has been using some Vala with rotational work also to poke.
What's it going to be? Greymane Ariel, okay. This has historically had mixed successes. The Tyrael makes it a lot stronger. I wonder if they'll be as bold to try to draft Rhaegar with this for double support Greymane. Solo support Ariel just feels really weak right now, especially because she can't heal as much as she would normally like to. She builds her hopes slightly faster with damage to heroes. That was one buff to her to make up for the removal of the level 7 Bursting Light. But it's a pretty huge nerf. The amount of time she can heal, even if she is at full hope, the cooldown is a problem. Tough ban here for L5 because you're not entirely sure where this draft ends. It's more of a responding draft for Miracle here. Abathur seems to be a go-to pick for Miracle right now, so they're just going to remove that. Not a strong ban, but I guess a safe one. Doesn't ruin what Miracle is trying to do.
Thing is for L5, they only have Vala and Uther for now. So whatever you want to, I think it's an okay one to ban a strong warrior in the front line, depending on how you want to finish. If you want to bring in Illidan. Yes, Nami would love to play Illidan here. If they want to go full in dive and have the control banning Arthur, I think they are going towards that way a little more now.
That way, absolutely. Good call. Because now, you know, you don't have too many answers for the Illidan. Sure, you can try to Q Vala against him to weaken the dive, but both Greymane and Illidan gain from Tyrael's trait. Ariel gains from Illidan's attack speed. So that's actually a very strong possibility here. What doesn't really gain is the potential Dahaka pick, which is one that I thought they might take over the Ariel,
so
but it's taken away.
Yes, it's taken away for the isolation because they know that Illidan can be a threat and can be coming up very soon from what we just saw after watching ban number 2 from Miracle. So having 2, not just 1, 2 threats, isolation and power slide. Wow, L5 is banning the counters and also having their own rotational work along with Bala now. I think they may be lacking a little damage depending on their last pick. They can fill in another melee, possibly coming up something like Sonya. Let's see if how well it fits the team comp.
Sonya's a decent choice here for Miracle. Malthael is not terrible. It's a bit weaker on this map, obviously. And then you have the pick that Dami wanted, the Dahaka. So Sonya comes out, as you say. This becomes their top laner. Karazim will be the secondary support. Hyper mobility. And they do have the ability to do some incredible palm saves when things go wrong here. For Greymane in the front line.
HGC front line. You have Vala for ranged. Do we need to bring in a mage here? I think it's an okay choice, but if Sonya is able to dive in, can be a big problem because usually they can be blown up within seconds when Sonya does full burst damage, connecting with the spear.
I don't think a mage is very safe. I'd almost rather see something like a Tychus here, or I don't think you can pull out a Gul'dan. Gul'dan is strong against this type of comp. Chromie is strong against this type of comp, but risky because of the Sonya and the Karazim.
Do they want to go late game Nazebo?
I don't think you want to play late game on this map. Zarya!
Okay, fully shield Vala.
So all in on the Vala here. Okay. Last time we saw Zarya on this map, it didn't go so well, but I think this comp makes a lot more sense than the Overwatch comp we saw from Raven last week. I like the draft of Miracle a lot, though. I feel like they did a lot right with this draft. The Sonya pick is strong against the Dahaka. They have double support for the Greymane. The Tyrael works both well with the Greymane and the Sonya. And Sonya could do more against the comp of L5 than an Illidan would have been able to do. So let's see if Zarya is going to have the extra protection required for L5 to win this map and take match point as we head into Sky Temple. L5, Hooligan on ETC, SC on his Vala, Junga on Dahaka, STE flexing to the Zarya, and Swoy will be on Uther.
And in red, MVP Miracle. Judy on Tyrael, Dami on Sonya, Jaehyun on Ariel, C moving on Greymane, and Sniper on Karazim.
Okay, we're going to have a Watchtower fight.
With a double support, Sniper, of course, taking the flex of the team. Interesting, we see basic damage coming out from Zarya.
Yeah, not going to be Grenadier.
Alright.
We'll do a lot of extra damage on the front lines when the dive comes in. I think that's going to be a big factor. Can do a lot of AoE that way. Got high energy, so I suppose that's one reason why they might go that way. And obviously the Q build we knew was likely against an Illidan. Very much similar against the Sonya in terms of what it's going to help you accomplish.
This may be Zarya doing the most damage and Vala just poking the damage out from the side or the back line. I think L5 has planned this way. Well, let's go towards a little bit towards the late game and see where Zarya stands in the team fight. I think they are looking for that Zarya most damage and pretending to be a Vala hyper carry game.
Could definitely work that way, and Uther can empower that quite well. It's kind of funny that the lanes got a little bit swapped because of this huge contention of the Watchtower. Both teams were so eager to hold on to it that the solo lane became the bot lane, actually, with Greymane down there. Now we're going to see Sonya switch down to it as the temples do spawn. Dahaka got a lot of extra soak bot, is going to head mid now, not using his global brush stock just yet. The temples will be traded for the time being. L5 soaking a little bit more experience. Dahaka's not going to miss a single minion on that bot wave. They maintain their experience lead. They will hit level 4 just slightly faster. And in fact, we'll finish the temple slightly faster as well. Even Hooligan contesting here. They want to actually try to get the double here.
I think they're contesting because they got an early start on the top temple when that's finished. Maybe they want to try to contest for the middle one, or they have been extra soaking a little bit. I think Sonya missed a couple of minions back there, down there, so they already got experience lead and they are coming in here now. With the Brush Stalker, Jungha came in. Getting the tempo.
Good stun here, and the pull right after the stun. What a combo! Just face melt him right into Dahaka's mouth, man. You got a mouthful right there. Ariel is down, that's no more heals, and they will get the majority temples here, getting about 1.2, 1.3 temples out of this, knocking Miracle down to the 0.7.
That was kind of obvious for Miracle. They knew that. They knew as soon as Sonya went down, because they're missing a member, Dahaka would come in because they were delaying this much for a reason. And they went back all right, but of course Ariel getting caught was the big problem.
I mean, that was just such good play by Hooligan and Jungha, though. I can't even be mad about Miracle. They were going to lose the temple, which is a problem. But the fact that they got picked was really just good play by L5. Like, that's the kind of thing you could never really prepare for, that level of coordination. That's why this team, you know, won Eastern Clash. That's why his team is one of the big contenders going, into BlizzCon. So Hooligan looking for the power slide. This one's not the best one he was looking for, but Judy is still caught. We'll have to Aldruin's away. They do get the camps, so evening up the camps. But all during this time, Dahaka's dominated this top lane. Jungha gets the extra wave, and they're a full level ahead. From 1 kill alone, 2 better rotations. It's looking pretty good for L5 right now, who are going to potentially even look at how they're just giving SD free energy. Look at how much damage he can do now. He's like, thank you for the energy. And now they can just try to get this healing well. They're very close to getting it.
Get the autos. It's doing so much damage. Just when Hooligan was just on the side.
It wasn't even the cannon tower shots that gave SD the energy. They shot at him while he was shielding himself with Vala. Or sorry, not with Vala, with Greymane. Healing well is so low. It's their objective here, but they are going to possibly try to get Judy. It looks like MVP Miracle just barely keep this healing well alive for the next temple phase. But they're losing Soak top throughout all of this. Sonya's going mid to try to even it out.
Dahaka had to go around the top fort a little bit. Did lose a little bit of EXP, but still because of the lane pressure. And all the way into the fort, Sonya has to rotate late every single time. That's really costing big for Miracle and L5. If they fight like this for a long time, SCSC can stack up so much. Every Q, 5 more damage.
So you see that missing level 7 for Ariel. You can definitely feel it. SDE does get caught here, uses his shield. He's got so much energy. He will do a ton of damage if he can turn around. Can he turn around? That's the big question. Just going to use grenades for the time being as the energy burns down. Miracle does have control of the shrine. Dahaka's going to get top fort. You have to imagine the teleport will come down soon, as he will use his brush stock to rejoin the fight. Jaeon trying to manage his cooldowns correctly. So much more difficult to do now on this patch.
I think it'll be hard to actually hit 10 before the temple finishes. If they can contest for it and make it happen.
He's coming.
Dahaka came.
Okay, Judy Aldruin's forward. He's very well out of position here. And there's a tongue grab onto Greymane. Oh, look at that power slide.
Nicely done. Did not really provide any escape for Greymane. Without Greymane lacking damage, Tommy will also get picked off.
Oh my god! Jungha! And now there's the mosh pit here. It's going to be the full team wipe. And what did Miracle gain? They got 90% of a temple, which didn't kill a single fort. They will lose. They lost top fort
They're going for
to the push. They're going to lose
and
bot fort to the boss. They're going to finish the temple. That boss will actually probably do damage to the keep wall, in fact. And L5 just did all of this from having the global hero in Dahaka, but beyond that, the coordination this team is showing. Remember, we talked about how much time this team has spent practicing That's one of the reasons why they have said, they said we play more than anybody else, we practice more than anybody else, we play Hero League more than anybody else. That's why we want Eastern Clash. And you can see it, you can feel it in the coordination. You know, we haven't seen play like this out of other teams in this second part here. Sure, we're only in our second week of it, but L5 is dominating right now, and coordination like this is just so incredible to watch.
Well said, Wolf. I think their practice is really showing off, especially coming out these kind of clean rotations. Can happen few times, once or twice, but every single time like this, we have not seen too many of these kind of games coming out from any teams in this world.
And I mean, the thing is, even if you look at how a team like Fnatic plays, because Fnatic is defending world champion right now, Fnatic doesn't play this type of coordinated stun lock. They're more poke, they're more range-based, most would argue. And so the coordination you see from them is much different from this one. It's like two different styles completely. And it's cool to see kind of like different parts of the world developing different styles, trying to be the best. We're not there yet, right? L5 currently in second place in the standings. Fnatic in first, undefeated, along with MVP Black, or actually just recently was defeated, mostly undefeated, up at the top of EU. See if these two clash at BlizzCon, but just the prospect of that, the potential of them fighting each other gets me excited. Hooligan's angle here is really good. Judy will escape without Druins for the time being.
Hooligan's looking for the angle. Really, that's actually a zoning for Hooligan. He has the angle to go in. He does have Power Slide available now.
Oh, look at that Graviton, or it's not a Graviton, it's the Expulsion Zone coming over, blocking them in. Dami is going to go down. Jaehyun's on cooldown. He's on cooldown here with his heal, and now he's not even going to be able to use it. A cooldown, you know, it does matter. 2 seconds could feel like 2 years in a game like this where you need those heals on time.
Well, the coordination seems very off from Miracle right now. I think taking 7-sided, maybe they thought Aegis was enough. I think if they had Palm, they had lots of available tools to actually save Greymane, save Ariel sometimes, or even Sonya.
Well, they're going to try to double Temple here. Well, I suppose they're abandoning that idea, leaving the bottom one for now. We'll head up top to contest. Actually losing a lot of shots as a result. Talent tier advantage, 3-level scaling advantage. Miracle needs to take a miraculous fight, no pun intended here, if they want this one. Hooligan's position for Mosh Pit is so good. Oh, look at this. Triple! I saw that coming a mile away. Sank will help cancel it, though.
To try to counter that, Hooligan survives after all the 7-sided strikes, landing on multiple targets.
Good Aegis here, but the hook comes in from Jungha. Really good team fight turn here by L5, despite that sanctification. Will be the first 2 kills going over here. Make it 3 for L5. Because even though they ended up losing Hooligan at the end of the day, after that 3-man mosh, they win the fight.
But he's the one who actually caught the last bit of HP with the Power Slide, with the face melt, having Bala picking up the last damage. As that was the first kill of the team fight, really sacrificed himself to win the team fight there. Nicely done by Hooligan.
It's actually I didn't notice until now, the build from Ariel is very much Q focused. We'll see if that becomes the norm, I guess, now that she's been nerfed and you can't get that cooldown reduction at 7, which was a huge spike. So the bot fort survives G-Clef. Keeps are under attack. The keep wall was already damaged from the boss earlier. The rare double talent tier advantage for L5. I keep saying rare, but it keeps happening more and more this season. 4-level lead, now it's just the 3. They're going to go directly to that keep. The wall is down as mentioned. And this is going to be a scary moment for MVP Miracle, as one false step spells disaster, but if they're too safe, the siege and poking power from L5 will eventually wear down this keep. There's almost no recovering from that.
Sank is available and Mosh Pit's still on cooldown if they know that this is happening right now. And still a big step down though, 16 to 13. That's a big threat.
You know what?
Down, 3 levels down.
Yeah, but they saved the keep.
4 levels down now.
They saved the keep, and they traded heroics better here.
Nice Sank.
7-sided.
does connect. Hooligan pops that mosh pit. That's not going to be too effective. Oh, actually, he goes down first.
Yeah.
And they're pushing it.
Aegis was really well done. The Sank was really well done. SDE, though, doing all that damage we were talking about. He's the carry in this fight. Look at all that damage. SDE just sitting there, popping it off. Full energy on the Zarya. Judy, if he gets spotted, he is dead. Looks like he will escape with his life. Very lucky. Very lucky. I thought that was a one fight for Miracle against all odds, but the scaling 3 levels plus full shields was just enough. The armor coming in from Uther as well. SDE, he did it. We talked about at the beginning, you called it. SDE was going to be the one doing the majority of the damage with the Q build coming out from Vala, and that is certainly what we just witnessed.
With full energy, you can't ignore Zarya's auto attacks coming in, as SCSC survived that from vaulting all the way back. I think that was a very good positioning coming out. Miracle, they ended up chasing and lost a lot of damage. What could have been done to Zarya? Zarya was actually also shielding so many targets, so if you take out Zarya from the beginning of the fight, lots of shielding is removed. It's a lot easier to take out the entire team of L5. But with that kind of focusing when you're off to a target, when you think you have to chase Vala instead, that's what L5 drafted into this game here, and they are falling right into it.
Yeah. Remember 2 for 2, the keep survives. But look at the top lane. Jongha is pushing that top keep right now directly. No one is responding to him. And I think they're just going to get it. Like, he's literally going to solo the keep. MVP Miracle's more interested in taking out these objectives. When you get behind on this map, though, it's kind of lose-lose against a global. If you go chase Taka, you lose your keep anyways to the temples. And Taka can come back at any moment anyways. Dami taking a ton of damage, does survive here. He's got full fury. Jongha does come into the fight now, doing so much with his Dark Swarm. The vulnerability is real. SDE, full energy again, but the Sank was once again very well placed.
Shielding all the time. SD is doing the most damage here.
Absolutely.
CSC is just going all the way around, even with the Sank. There's a 3-main mosh, and they don't even, seems like they don't even need it though. There's a drag and wow.
You know what?
Wow, just wow.
I don't think we're there yet, but Hooligan he's crossing, he's very much on the path. He is walking the path to Noblesse's former glory. You can feel it. This guy is a star player tonight. He was a star player at his first international event at the Eastern Clash, and his incredible mosh pits throughout this second game are part of the reason why L5 was able to accomplish so much. The Zarya pick was a great one. It worked so perfectly against the Sonya, against the Tyrael dive. When the Sanks wore off, the damage came out, and that is going to be game over here. 19 kills to 3 on Sky Temple.
Oh my. I think Hooligan is a different player compared to Noblesse. His style is different, his hero pool seems a little bit different, but the level of his mechanics and how he can play along with the team, the teamwork is there, his mechanics are there, the rotations, the way he power slides in. He's a top level player. He's on the top. He was not at the top at all. He was around the middle somewhere, and the pickup since the practice, since before the Eastern Clash, we saw the signs of Hooligan rising up with Tyrael, sometimes with Muradin, but this kind of play, if we see this kind of play every single day, even against the stronger teams, I think we can say he's top Noblesse.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's too early, but if this guy goes on to dominate, if they defeat Black, and if they go to BlizzCon and have great success there, I think as we watch him, maybe at that moment at BlizzCon in front of that crowd, we could say he's lived up to the legacy. I don't think we're there yet, but very impressive ETC play on Sky Temple specifically. His positioning was always so good to get multi-moshes. Like, even I was able to see as just a pleb caster, you know, watching from third-person view, like that he was going to get that mosh at the top lane because he was in the perfect place. Like, Miracle somehow didn't realize that he was going to destroy them. Sank was good, but it didn't matter at the end of the day. Guys, this could be another quick series. It's up 2-0 for L5. We're going to find out after a short commercial break if they can make that a 3-0, and we'll see you then.